Hello, can I be heard now? Yes, I know. Thank you for the 20 people who decided to tell me that I'm not there. Can you hear me now, though? Can you? Yes! Yes! Okay, thank God. This is what I get for... I literally did, just before the stream, I realized my microphone wasn't plugged in. And then I plugged it in, and apparently it just wasn't going. So, okay, hello everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Oh, okay. We're here. We are here to talk about Doctor Who. But, as you guys always know, it's likely that that's not really what we're going to be talking about. We're most likely just going to be talking about nonsense with a vague overall theme of Doctor Who. So, welcome to what is titled Doctor Who: The Chibnall Era. I've seen worse. So, yeah. You wonder what the stream delay is from there to England. I don't know. I would assume stream delay is the same for everybody. It's probably about 40 seconds or so, So, I don't know. Shouldn't be too bad. What do you want to bet this stream turns into talking more about David Tennant and the 60th than Jodie's era? That honestly always happens, Like, look, I don't know how much I've actually talked about Jodie's era or any of the eras of Doctor Who in these streams. Normally, we get off topic about random stuff. So, yeah. Every era is a pile of good things and bad things. That's a good point. That is definitely a good point. And yeah, I think I have, like, the most casual, I think I have the most casual viewpoint of the Chibnall era of just, meh, whatever, Like, was there good stuff? Yeah. Was there bad stuff? Yeah. Was it terrible all around? No. Was it great all around? No. But I had a good time. So, yeah. So it's just complaining about Orphan 55 for an hour. We can complain about Orphan 55. That was the Captain Planet episode, right? That one was pretty bad, I will admit. Greetings from 7 o'clock in the morning. Goodness me, you're awake at 7 o'clock watching this. 7 in the morning? What exactly is 7 in the morning? Like, geez, how far away? That's gotta be... That's so far away if it's 7 in the morning right now, You're gonna miss the Evil Dan memes. I am so sad that we basically got no Evil Dan. I mean, the clever people are able to make Evil Dan memes out of everything, but we pretty much got no Dan in that last episode, but oh well. The stream probably has to go through 100 different countries, even if you're watching this from down the street. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just how servers are. I mean, this, at the very least, I would imagine this has to be shot into space and then shot back down to wherever you are, Love the Prison Break series. Will you ever think of moving on to the Scream series? The Scream movies? I don't really see that happening, but meh, I don't know. Hi again, the guy who got offended a while ago about the whole English stuff, but I'm keeping that as far behind me as possible. Well, that's a good way of looking at that. So, yeah, I you know what? I slightly remember you. I think either last stream or the stream before that. So, sorry again on whatever I've offended. And I guess we can just sort of, I don't know. Should we? Let's go ahead and talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about the Play Nice squad. So let me bring them up real quick. There they are. I gotta sort of come over here. If you guys remember, this is the Play Nice squad. It used to just be Woody and Graham, but I have since included Dan into Evil Dan into this one. These guys show up when I need you guys to chill out. But this is just their introduction. You guys are fine at the moment, so yeah. So I'll just turn that off, come back over here. So yeah. Also, as a note, while we're just getting started, I have 2 versions of the chat open. One of them is showing me all of these, all of your lovely chats coming in as you type them, basically. And the other one, I have it specifically so I can read off every single one of these. So if you're wondering, like, if you type something in the chat and I don't get to it right away, I will get to it eventually. So I just wanted to put that out there because sometimes, we don't really... sometimes people are confused about that. So yeah. So I will get to everybody. Don't you worry about that. In fact... do I want to try to put that in here? I could, but that'd be a bit difficult, wouldn't it? I don't know. I could probably just, like, put the chat in, like, just right, here, but I don't know. So, anyway. So I'm going through. The Chibnall era, it exists, I guess. Yeah, honestly, it's alright. I didn't really... I don't know. I didn't really have any problems with it. Alex is a true time traveler. He just travels backwards in times. Yes, that is the power of Bites the Dust, which is actually my stand, so yeah. Jodie as a doctor wasn't bad. Everything around her was kind of bad. I would be curious how her Big Finish stuff is going to go. Now, I don't know, if that's going to be happening anytime soon. Probably not. It'll probably be a while before she starts doing Big Finish stuff, though I know that the Fugitive Doctor is getting some Big Finish stuff, right? So I'd be curious about that. Granted, this is coming from a guy who listened to 4 audio stories and hasn't touched it again since, so... but yeah. It's fine is my opinion as well. Yeah. It happened. It was meh. That's pretty much where we are, I think. Which is good. I was kind of... I will admit, by putting in the title, I've seen worse, I was kind of inviting the chaos, And I will fully admit that, because while I make a big stink about Doctor Who comments and stuff, the one place I accept all of your comments, whether they're good or bad, is here in the live streams, because, I don't know, it's just kind of more fun to do it, I don't know. You had a Q&A with Chibnall himself a couple months ago, before the finale aired. Really? And it's 8:05 for you right now. Interesting. Hot take, Orphan 55 isn't the worst episode of the era by far. Really? That's interesting. That is a very interesting viewpoint, because it's kind of bad to me, but I don't know. But that's an interesting take. Evil Dan is now homeless Dan. Yeah, that's true. Now would be a good time to start inserting ads. Shut the hell up, YouTube. I don't want to put friggin' ads in a... Whatever, we're trying to talk here, YouTube, and you want me to start playing ads. This is why I don't get paid anything on YouTube. I'm so terrible about that. But no, I'm not going to put in an ad, YouTube, just now. Because otherwise, what would we do? I would just sit here for like a minute? No. Unless it's like a 15-second... okay, here's... I don't know, this probably isn't a hot take, but YouTube ads that are longer than 15 seconds... Those are awful. I skip every single one of those, which means nobody's getting paid for that. So, advertisers out there, if you're listening to me for some reason, keep your ads under 15 seconds. 15 seconds or under, basically. So, yeah. Seen all the original series. There is a lot of terrible stuff. Yes. One episode that comes to mind... which may or may not be funny to mention now, would be the Celestial Toymaker. That is not a good episode. It's a good concept. The concept of the Celestial Toymaker, I've come to agree, is... Yeah. The Celestial Toymaker himself is okay. Not a good episode. So. You have YouTube Premium. You're welcome for the extra money you've gotten from my video. Well, thank you. Because, look, I'm just going to say this right now. If any of you are watching this with ad block on, it's okay with me. I also use ad block, so yeah, it's okay, folks. If anyone feels guilty about using ad block on YouTube, it's okay with me. You know, even though yes, that is to my detriment as a guy trying to be paid. I fully understand it. So yeah. Anywho, the master is the best part. Sacha Dhawan's master is amazing. Let's just go ahead and say that. Really love the historicals. Ashad was such a great villain. Ashad is also another. He's a great villain. I wish he was kind of in better episodes. You know, not that the episodes he was in was particularly bad or anything. I just wish I wish there was more time dedicated to him. You know, so oh well. But yeah, but the historicals, that is the one thing I think, honestly, Jodie's historicals are some of my absolute favorites. So that's the thing I like, you know, yes, let's do that. I think that the frog was the worst thing in this era. It was really goofy, but I don't know. It couldn't be that, it wasn't that terrible. Arachnids in the UK was kind of boring, you know? I saw somebody mention that over here, so. Aha. Ah, that worked. Good. Let's see here. Evil Dan left the TARDIS because he wanted to carry out his evil plans. Yeah. Dan got screwed over. Most of his era was either Flux or stuff about the stuff about 13 leaving. He never got time to shine. Why does he exist? I think they created and cast Dan on the basis that they were going to have a full season. And then when everything hit the fan, when COVID really crippled Flux, and honestly I would say even the specials, I think it just really affected Dan's character as well. I think they could have done a lot with that, you know? They could have done a lot with him, but honestly, I chalk that up to what happened with Flux, you know? The Rasputin Master, Masputin, was downright hilarious. Yes. It's 6 a.m. in tropical Australia. Man, oh man, that is crazy. Meanwhile, it's just 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. It's strange that people say the plot quality has fallen, because plot quality has been falling before Chibnall. Capaldi's episodes didn't have the best plots either. He just carried it. I get that. I do understand that, but yeah, I mean, hey, at the very least, that's somebody who's not saying that it's all about Chibnall. Because I find that to be the funniest thing, because I've heard, I think even before I started Doctor Who, I heard people ragging on Moffat, you know? And so just to see all of that with Moffat, and even because that also appeared while I was reacting to Moffat's era, and then seeing that then just keep going with Chibnall, it's like, all right, guys, yeah. Chibnall was the death of Doctor Who. So was Moffat. I'm sure there are people that said RTD was the death of Doctor Who. I see people now that say that RTD is going to keep being the death of Doctor Who, you know? So, yeah, 7 a.m. in Australia. That's crazy. Still maintain that season 11 was a great season apart from a couple dud episodes. As you said, they had great historicals and there were inventive ideas here and there. Yeah, I really would have to look back on those episodes, you know? Because I do remember more positives than negatives. Like, aside from, like, honestly, like, Arachnids in the UK, and that was just kind of boring. Like, it was a decent season all around, you know? So, yeah. Sorry if, like, the camera shakes a little bit. It's because my monitor is a bit, wobbly, so every time I sort of move here, it just sort of shakes it a bit. So, yeah. The most annoying thing about the Timeless Child arc is it will most likely have no answer. I imagine RTD will retcon it. I don't think... See, here's the problem with that theory. Retconning it means you have to dedicate time to it. And I just don't see... I see that being... We're done. They are never going to mention it again, you know? Or maybe if they just mention it in passing, then... Yeah, no, I don't think... If you're going to retcon it, you have to take the time to retcon it. And I don't think any writer would take the time. It's like, all right, that was a thing with Chibnall's era. I don't want to take the time and effort to do that, you know? So, who is your favorite Doctor from the modern era? Which Doctor do you like best from from classic Doctor Who? All right, this is a good question. Okay, I have to segment favorite modern Doctor into favorite actor and favorite writing. My favorite actor to play the Doctor in modern Doctor Who is Peter Capaldi. However, David Tennant had the best writing, and a good number of episodes for Christopher Eccleston too. Now, that's not to say that Peter Capaldi didn't have excellent writing sometimes. It's just it wasn't on the same consistent level as Tennant, you know? So if Capaldi had the same level of writing through and through that Tennant had, it'd be Capaldi all the way. But I sort of segment that. But as favorite actor, I would say Peter Capaldi. So yeah. And my favorite Doctor from classic Doctor Who, this may be a bit of a surprise, I'm going to say the third Doctor. Now, I am not counting from 5 to 8 because I haven't seen enough of them yet. I'm currently just going on. Also, by the way, we have like 60 viewers. Holy crap, that's a lot of people. Thank you all for watching this. I am counting this for the Doctors who I have seen the most, and I've seen 1, 2, and 3 to completion, and we're about halfway or so through the fourth Doctor. We've seen a good chunk of the fourth Doctor at this point. So I would say of the first 4, because I've seen a lot of their episodes, my favorite is the third Doctor. So I really love him as the Doctor. I love how he works with Unit. I love how he works with Jo. I love how he works with Liz and Sarah Jane. And him and Roger Delgado as the Master is absolutely brilliant. And it's really something I enjoyed, and it's really something I miss with the fourth Doctor. And the fourth Doctor is good. He's good. I don't get it. I'm going to put it out there right now that we're halfway through. We're halfway through the fourth Doctor's era. Maybe this will change towards the end, but I don't really get it. I can't fully describe it yet. But I don't know. There's just something about the fourth Doctor where he almost seems too detached, you know? Almost too detached or sometimes he's just downright mean, you know? And there is a bit of that, but you can have a bit of that, but at the same time, like, I will see Pertwee, and especially because, let's all face it, Jo was kind of an idiot. She was a lovable idiot, but she was, you know, she's our lovable little idiot, but she was great. But there was always, I felt like there was always an aspect of the third Doctor was trying to teach her, or teach Sarah Jane, or maybe not teach Liz, but, you know, and maybe that's why he also works better with Jo. You know, there was more of the aspect of the teacher with Jo, and even with Sarah Jane. And with the fourth Doctor, it's like, well, here, let me, you know, say all this stuff to make you feel stupid. And when you question him, you know, it just circles it back around. And I guess it should be like that, because the Doctor is a lot like that. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, I see more of the, you know, even if he's snarky, you can be snarky, you can be, you know, sort of coy, but there was always, I feel like there was always an element of the teacher with Pertwee, and maybe like even a bit in Hartnell, and some with Troughton, and I feel like some of that is really lost on Tom Baker. So I'm just kind of sitting here like, okay, I'm not sure I get why this is, you know, the classic Doctor, you know. So yeah, honestly, at this point, I would say the third Doctor is my favorite classic Doctor. Now we're going to see, we still have a lot of ways to go with Tom Baker. Then we've got 5, 6, 7, and I mean, I've technically seen all of the 8th Doctor's era on screen, but I'm thinking once we get there, I may go and do audio drama reviews by myself. I'm definitely never going to get Dad to do those again, but I might do that myself. So, yeah. But we'll see. And honestly, the verdict's still out. The jury's still out on Tom Baker. So, I'll come back to it and see what my opinion will be after we finish Tom Baker's era. But so far, really, really like, and part of that, it's half being the teacher, being the sort of interesting teacher, and half the Pertwee's interaction with Unit and his companion and everything. Because even when they started to leave Unit in season, what was it, 11, I think, season 11 with Sarah Jane, I don't know, it still just worked. Maybe that was Sarah Jane, so I don't know. Anyway, the stream must end with all of us dancing to Rasputin. I would get copyright claimed, and as much as I said that I don't want to, put an ad in the middle of this, I would like to keep my monetization as best as I can, so probably not, but go dance to Rasputin on your own time. What's the point of being alive if not to make Evil Dan memes? Still, I bet you, still terrible. Woody scarred that kid for life. Yeah. Well, that's why it's the Play Nice squad, is because it's Woody's. So play nice. So yeah. What do you think about Power of the Doctor and Tennant now officially being the 14th Doctor? He's not 14, and I will hold this until it's actually confirmed in the specials, okay, folks? I am not counting him as the 14th Doctor until we get through those 3 specials. So, you can sue me for that, but no. Anyway, but the Power of the Doctor, it was fun. It was fun. It's not the greatest episode ever, but it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And I know there's a lot of stuff about, like, the Master's plan doesn't make sense. One thing I love about it, I love how petty it is. Because, honestly, like, those memes of the Reverse Flash, where it's like, it was me, Barry. I spoiled your milk, Like, if you've seen those Reverse Flash memes, and then, honestly, they're kind of doing that on the Flash show, like, that character has become so petty. I love that that's basically what the Master became, Why is he going back and becoming Rasputin? Because it's fun. And he can mess with the Doctor with that. And yes, it did get her attention. But at any point, did he need to do that? No, there was no point to Siberia. It was just for fun. And you know what? I can live with that, So, yeah. And I've said my piece in the Power of the Doctor video about Tennant coming back as the Doctor. The good news is, it's only for 3 episodes. We know that Shudigatwa is coming up next. So, I am okay with that. I am definitely okay with that. But I still have a bit of my reservations. But it's the best situation that they could have done with bringing back an older actor to play the Doctor again. That, because we already know that Gatwa is doing it, I feel so much better about it, So, yeah. Did you hear that William Russell might be going to the Guinness Book of World Records? Yes, I did see that. That because he returned to play the character after 57 years, that counts, and that's in the world records. I really love that. Of all those companions, even seeing Joe and everyone, and I don't have much history with Tegan or Ace. I really did. I mean, I've only seen Ace in 1 episode, but I really love that episode, Remembrance of the Daleks. But seeing Ian, that got to me, because he's Ian, he's Ian, and having gone through the first Doctor's era and just seeing him again, it's like, oh my god, he's back again, This man is like 97 years old, and he's back to Doctor, even just for a small cameo, and it's like, that is awesome, So, I really love that. Someone has questioned me of I've seen worse. I do want to point out the title I've seen worse for this live stream. That is not necessarily about Doctor Who, but that is more about I've seen other shows go so worse. Modern Star Trek comes to mind. The Star Wars sequels come to mind. We are not in that position. We are and that is one of the best things, is that we are not in that position. We might have gotten a little close, but we're not in that position. So, yeah. That's mainly what I've seen, and I've seen worse. Not that I've seen a worse era of Doctor Who. So, that's what I meant. The Sixth Doctor's era is pretty bad. I haven't seen enough of the Sixth Doctor. I've seen... All I've seen of the Sixth Doctor is Vengeance on Varos. That's the only episode I've watched. But we also listened to The Holy Terror, which was interesting enough, you know? So far, Sixth Doctor's fine to me, but I haven't gotten to that era yet. I think there's parallels to be drawn between Jodie's era and Colin Baker's era, an actor with a lot to give, led down by frequent abysmal writing. Maybe we'll look back on her fondly in the future. Well, and I hear that Colin Baker has done really well with Big Finish, so I'd be very curious if... Now, one question I will have is, I assume they can get away with the 13th Doctor going on adventures without Yaz. Nothing against Yaz. She's perfectly fine, but I hope the 13th Doctor is not saddled to her, you know? I hope she's able to go off, you know... It's like, oh, she went off for 100 years, you know, between these two random episodes and got a new companion for a little bit, you know? So, yeah. Also, okay, because I see someone in the live chat brought up the Disney deal. I don't think Disney is going to do a damn thing with Doctor Who except just release it on Disney Plus. Like, I don't think they I understand people might be worried about creative control, but I don't think she's going to... I don't think Disney's going to have creative control, you know? So, calm down. Calm down a little bit about that. So, yeah. Let's see. They were planning Jo Martin's Big Finish from the instant they heard about her. I don't blame them because, yeah, honestly, if they had just, even if they never explained it, if Jodie had just regenerated into Jo Martin, I would have been fine, you know? In fact, if they had done that and Jo Martin took the 60th anniversary and maybe, you know, Tennant comes back but as the 10th Doctor and then she regenerates into Shudigatwa, I would have been fine with that. Because, honestly, I really like Jo Martin as the Doctor, and I'd love to see more of her, you know? Which is exactly what I said about the 8th Doctor anyway. So, here's hoping. Honestly, when they start doing Fugitive Doctor Big Finish audio dramas, maybe I'll be reviewing some of those. Who knows? If there's one thing from this era I hope RTD keeps, it's the Fugitive Doctor. Yeah, bring her back. Keep bringing her back. She's freaking great. You know what would be hilarious, though? Never say where she is. Never say where she is. Don't say how she regenerated. Don't say how she'll regenerate into somebody else. Never give that. I just want her to be the biggest mystery. Just the biggest freaking badass mystery we could have, you know? Wanted to get K9 into Power of the Doctor, but couldn't for legal reasons. I wonder if it's the Australian show. I don't know. Dan was the least developed character. He was just thrown into the TARDIS with little reaction. By the time he left, he felt as if he was there for no reason. Again, I say he could have had more, but just everything went to hell, pretty much, with production. I don't mean with the quality of episodes. I'm not just a time traveler, I'm a psychic who gathers people with specific words. I guess? I don't know. Oh, hello. Seems we have our first, people. There we go. There we go. Just had to chop out the spam bot. Nothing to worry about, folks. Can I, like, remove that now? Yes. Maybe. Yeah. Well, it's probably gone by now, so... There. Got rid of the spam bot. We're good. So what in the world... what is the worst episode of the era, if not Orphan 55? It's either Orphan 55 or Arach... You know, the thing about arachnids in the UK... It just kind of is. Like, I don't give it any thought. It was just kind of boring, and then we just sort of move on with life. Orphan 55 is the one where I was like, okay, this is actively, like, stupid and not that good, so... But yeah. Surprised Yaz lasted as long as she did. She was in every episode of the 13th Doctor, even beating Jamie, who was in all but one. Yeah, that is true. Because Jamie started off in the second Doctor's second episode. So yeah, in terms of staying in every episode, yeah, Yaz is the first to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just seems like the actress just wanted to stay on, and more power to her, you know? So yeah, honestly. Could we talk about the characterization of 13? Found her to be way too childish. I mean, coming off of Peter Capaldi, I can understand that, but honestly, I just sort of chalk that up to sort of the same thing with Matt Smith. Not that Matt Smith was too childish. I don't even think Jodie was that childish, but honestly, it felt like more of... It's sort of like, it felt like a version of 11 who vaguely, or at least tried to understand humans again, where like the 11th Doctor would sort of look and be like, okay, well, you go do whatever you humans need to do. I'm going to go do something else. The Doctor would be, the 13th Doctor would be like, well, okay, that's an interesting human thing you got to do, and okay, but can we go? I want to go, you know? So, I don't know. I love that. Orphan 55, of course Orphan 55 is bad. Can you really expect them to maintain the quality after 54 previous Orphans? That's a good point. Matt Smith at least had serious and dark moments. Yes, I do wish there were a bit more, I wish there were a bit more of that, you know? Should we talk about how she would rather let that spider die slowly instead of shooting it and putting it out of its misery? Again, I chalk that up to that episode not being a very good episode, you know? Like, that's just part of it. So, I get that, yeah. The original script, either Martha, Jackie Tyler, or Ryan would have been the end scene with some other companions. That would have been interesting. Yeah, Jackie Tyler, even though she's in a parallel universe, she got better. I don't know. The underwater menace is really bad. That I can agree with. Yes. Up. Wow, I'm really behind apparently. So I'm really behind on this chat. That's okay. We're going for about 36 minutes. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna try to power through some of these. every Doctor has their one really bad episode. Yeah, honestly. Trying to think like which one that would be for each one. The main thing I'm trying to think of is what was like Christopher Eccleston's worst episode, because the man only got 13, you know? So did I watch Blind Wave's reaction to Jodie's last episode? I did. That is such a miracle that they can go in completely non-spoiled. Now, granted, I almost was. If I wasn't an idiot, I wouldn't have known that she would regenerate into David Tennant, and I would have just been I would have been just as surprised as everybody else. But I was an idiot, I will admit, because I went onto Twitter, and this was before the episode had even aired, and it was before the episode had aired, so I was just going to go and see, like, hey, what are people, talking about before the episode airs? And then I wasn't going to look after that. But I saw everybody getting excited because they were like, oh, she's going to regenerate into David Tennant. And I thought, well, that sounds like the stupidest thing on God's green earth that they shouldn't do. For the love of God, don't do that. So I, like, made a joke about that on Twitter, and then everyone was like, oh, dude. And I was like, oh, fuck me, So, yeah. So that's how I ended up getting spoiled about David Tennant. If I hadn't done that and looked at stupid people who, although I was the clown because I was wrong, then, yeah, I would not have known. And when she regenerated into David Tennant, I would have been completely thrown off by that. Because, yeah, up until that point, I was expecting Ncuti Gatwa. So, yeah. The Master's plan was the exact same plan he had in the TV movie. Yes, except it worked for 5 minutes. So at least they did that. And yes, I know that there is speculation that the Celestial Toymaker is coming back in the 60th. And hey, hopefully they make him better. So it wasn't even the actor's fault or anything. It was just the writing of that episode wasn't that good. So but yeah, good afternoon, Alex and everyone. Yes, good morning to you, it was. Sorry, I'm just channeling a little bit of Jeremiah Gottwald from Code Geass. Water. And yeah, I shouldn't, it's kind of funny how adamant you were that she wouldn't regenerate into Tennant. Well, why would I think that she would regenerate into David Tennant? That sounds like the stupidest thing ever. What? Like, why would I ever think that would have happened, Like, it's stupid, I thought, like, okay, they just, I don't know, I figured that David Tennant was just coming back, it was just going to be the 10th Doctor for the 60th. But nope. No, now I'm the clown, so. Yes, I did know the Toymaker was Alfred from the old Batman movies. God, it's probably bad to say that those are old, but 89. Oh yeah, the Celestial Toymaker is not a good episode. It is boring as sin, and we have an entire reaction where we talk about that. So yeah, okay, folks, get this through your skull before it gets through my skull. It is not. I do not believe. I'm going to die on this hill, and I'm taking all of you with me. He is not the 14th Doctor. I am not believing that until the episodes themselves do that. Okay? I want that to be very clear. I don't care what RTD said on Twitter. He's doing that to mess with you. He's doing that to mess with you, and you all know it. So, I'm going to get back to the chat over here. So, her historicals should have been pure historicals. I was enjoying the Witchfinders until the alien trees. I get that. The Witchfinders is not the best example of a Jodie historical. No, folks, he's still not. I still don't believe that he's 14. Okay, I don't care what am I threatening you, Master Jedi? Let me just pull out Centurion. No, that wasn't a threat. That was just giving my opinion. Braun, the next time Sir Marin speaks, kill him. See, that was a threat. So, he did it to mess with me. Yeah. What was I talking about? The Witchfinders. The Witchfinders is not a great example. The Witchfinders really works just because it's fun and Alan Cumming is just a delight. Other than that, it's okay. But I understand the whole thing with pure historicals. But if you have to have an alien in there somewhere, I think Demons of the Punjab did it best, where it's like, yes, here's an alien. They don't really affect the story, though. The story went down the same way, you know? Yes, rule number 1, the showrunner lies. Yes! The Amazon isn't just a river in Brazil, Alex. Well, I guess you got me there, so... the Second Doctor's era had so many bland episodes with the basic base under siege story. Yeah. I admit, even though I did like the Second Doctor's era, and I'd have to look back to see like what my favorite episodes of that were, when I think of the Second Doctor's era now, I think like, yeah, that was good. It was good, but nothing like really jumps out at me as much, so... Rosa could have been pure historical. Yeah, Rosa's the one where is like, well, the villain is not that great. The villain is not that great in Rosa. So yeah. I'm not saying all of the Second Doctor's era is bland. I'm just saying some of it is like, okay, there's another Base Under Siege episode. All right, great. Let's move on, you know? So anyway. But yeah. I think they actually couldn't get John Bishop until COVID opened up his schedule. Well, I don't know. Okay, Tomb of the Cybermen, Enemy of the World, Web of Fear, and Fury from the Deep are awesome. Okay, Tomb of the Cybermen, yes. Enemy of the World was pretty interesting. The Web of Fear. Oh yeah, the Web of Fear has the Yetis, and that's the first introduction of the Brigadier. That one's pretty good. Fury from the Deep is okay, but the main guy, was it Robson in that one? The main guy, that guy was insufferable, and the seaweed was just kind of stupid. So, yeah. Space Pirates. Space Pirates. That was bad. That was not a good, but yeah. Great. But I say all of this knowing that the War Games. The War Games was brilliant. The War Games is probably one of the best episodes of Doctor Who, bar none. So, yeah. Anyway. Greetings from the UK. Can I ask how many classic Doctor Who DVDs you own, like the Ice Warriors? That's it. And do you watch the special features, or you're not interested in the behind the scenes stuff? I mean, I am. I just don't really like get around to it. But the only one I have is the Ice Warriors, and the only reason I did that was because for some reason it wasn't on BritBox, at least on the Amazon version where I watch it. So I just had to buy it. So yeah. But other than that, I don't buy. I bought a lot of the modern era, but I don't have much of the classic era on DVD. So yeah. I'm really trying to like catch up, but you know this will never work. You know it's going to take me like an hour to catch up to where you are, and by that point you'll all be an hour ahead. So the death of Doctor Who was episode 5 of The Chase. That's true. Although Dan's exit, albeit abrupt, his was the most honest. I mean, if my helmet got a bullet hole and also having one hand from being sucked off into space suffocating, I probably would go too. Yeah, honestly, looking back on it, when he leaves, it's like, you know what, that's fine, and I'm glad he can walk away. This is one of the greatest things that Chris Chibnall did in his era. All of his companions got to walk away. Because if that is one thing I want RTD to fix your companion exits, and that went for Moffat too, because none of them, with the exception of Martha, were good. They're either trapped in another dimension, dead, or dead for some other reason. And I hated each one of it. I hated it as it went on. The fact that Amy and Rory stayed around until they had to die. The fact that Clara stayed around until she had to die. Bill just went off into weird space with Water Girl. And it's like, no. Let them walk away. It's okay. They don't all have to be Adric, okay? And even Adric, he's still Adric at that point, you know? Or Donna, it's great you can do that, but by the 4th or 5th time you do it, stop. You know? Yeah, most classic companions exit are just, alright, I'm out of here, you know? Yes. So, yeah. Anywho, where was I? It's odd that Dan just doesn't really feature in the rest of that episode. Yeah, from what I hear, it was scheduling conflicts because John Bishop was going on tour. But honestly, I'm glad at least he came back at the end and was a part of that. So, yeah. Oh my god, Dodo's... I will say, okay, because someone just brought this up. Dodo's exit is the absolute worst because she's just gone. She's just written out of the episode and doesn't even get a moment. That was terrible. Oh, that's some good shit. Some good ice cold water. Adric was a big deal because it was the first. Yeah. Do I like the idea of Donna coming back? It's fine, honestly. I'll be curious how they do it. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I hope they just don't, walk back like, oh, she's fine now, and it's like, oh, okay. I hope there's something with that, but we'll have to see. Yeah, the whole thing of should we just ignore the Doctor being the timeless child? The Doctor's also half human. We move on. We move on with our lives. So, the way Chibnall treated Joe Martin was genuinely tokenistic and racist. It really wasn't, buddy. It really, but yeah, it's that they just didn't go anywhere with that, I fully believe he was going to go somewhere with it, and then just everything hit the fan with Series 13. He was like, well, I guess I'm done. I can't go any further, Yeah. I think I got a hair in my mouth. The Doctor also built the TARDIS and has only one heart. There you go. We move on with canon, Liz went back to Cambridge. That's true, but at least that was between episodes. That wasn't during the episode. So, does anyone else agree that only the 8th Doctor is half human? That would be really funny, but I don't know. That would be weird, but I don't know how that works. Yeah, Harry left, but I'm okay with people leaving. It's the fact that, Dodo was she was passed out in a house, and then they just never went back to her and was just like, oh, she said goodbye to the doctor, and then that was it. And it's like, what the hell? Like, it was terrible, you know? In the Seventh Doctor's era, it's implied that the Doctor is a reincarnation of the Other, one of 3 founding fathers of Gallifrey. Never brought up again. Yeah. And honestly, let's all face the facts. The Master told the story. Even though Tech-Tayun did, like, you know, sort of corroborate it, sort of back it up, I don't know. It's left up. Do I hate the traumatic exits? Does it hurt too much? I don't hate traumatic exits. I hate that every companion had to have one, you know? So by the time I got to Rory and Amy and Clara and even Bill, I was like, okay, I'm tired of this, you know? Like, let's just move on. And especially Rory and Amy pissed me the hell off because they had like 8 different exits and it's like, just leave before this gets worse, you know? I've seen 8 in all of his on-screen material, so I could count him at the risk of Big Finish fans getting mad. Well, from the movie, so I guess I've I've had 3 different things for the 8th Doctor. I've had the movie, and I enjoyed the movie. I had The Night of the Doctor, which was also really enjoyable and good. And I also had The Chimes of Midnight audio drama. And I really enjoyed The Chimes of Midnight. And of the four audio dramas I did, 3 of them with Dad, The Chimes of Midnight was my favorite one. And I really did enjoy the 8th Doctor in that. The moment that always sticks out in my head, was where it's like, oh, Doctor, this must have been suicide, right? And it's like, yes, it was very obviously a suicide. He got up, maneuvered the car around into the house, got out, ran himself over with the car, got back into the car, put the car back away, and then came back and died. Clearly a suicide. And just the way Paul McGann delivers that line, I was like, yes, I love that. Shame Paul McGann won't get his own series. Folks, I tell you what, if Jodie had regenerated into Paul McGann, like, that would have been it. I would have been like, okay, kill me now. I'm ready to die happy. Because, yes! I mean, I still would want to watch the episodes, but I would have been so okay with that, you know? But instead, it was fan favorite Doctor David Tennant, which that is what worries me. It's given me some flashbacks to, you know, somehow Palpatine returned. Like, oh, you're backpedaling, you know? But I know it's not actually that. So, how do you feel about the Time Lords being destroyed again? They'll get better, I'm sure. It kind of sucks, but I get the feeling they'll come back in some form. It really does feel like, though, that no modern showrunner knows what to do with them, you know? And I don't know, like, it's not like you need them, but I don't know. Jodie should have regenerated into William Hartnell. She's a pre-Hartnell Doctor. There you go. Then everyone is pre-Hartnell. There you go. So then we don't have to worry about Joe Martin. There we go. That would have been funny. Just loops back around. It's David Bradley. Oh, my voice is going and we're an hour in. How is the 4th Doctor mean? Have you listened to some of his talks? Especially, I think, with Leela. Like, and there was one... What episode was that? It was the... it was the Seeds of Doom, when he just got so, when the Fourth Doctor, when he got so pissed about the seed monster that used to be like what, Quinlan or something, and he just got so pissed when everybody would refer to him as that. And it's like, dude, chill out. Like, is the cold of Antarctica getting to you? What the hell is wrong with you? You know, but yeah, I don't know. So, I heard that RTD wants to MCU Doctor Who. He did already. It's called Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. You can try to bring that back, but so yeah, I don't know. It's just some things that rub me the wrong way about the Fourth Doctor. Winlet, that was it. All right, thank you. I don't fully remember that episode, but yeah. But yeah. And yeah, I did hear there was some tension between Tom Baker and Louise Jameson at first. I heard it got better after series 14. But yeah, I don't know. But again, these are small knocks on the Fourth Doctor, but it just makes me prefer the Third Doctor more. So, I don't know. Where was I? Baker was getting a bit of an ego that Doctor Who was his show and he knew best. Yeah, I definitely hear, especially with the story with, what was it, The Deadly Assassin, where he was like, oh, I don't need a companion, I can do this myself. And it's like, even in that episode, he had the Castellan, you know? So... glad how 13 regenerated. First one since 8 not to regenerate in the TARDIS. Yes. And the first one since 9 not to regenerate on Christmas. That's a good point, actually. But yes, she finally went outside. Finally. I bet you the TARDIS... Because the cloister bell started immediately before she even realized her hand was glowing. So I just want to believe that was... that was the TARDIS being like, uh-oh, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, you know? And then she did, and then it got weird, you know? Oh, God. Water is a gift. If you think 4 is detached and mean, can't wait till you get to 6. I mean, even from what I heard in the Holy Terror, the Sixth Doctor was barely a part of that story. It was still fine, but yeah, it was just kind of weird. So, oh, hello. Someone's got a big old warning here in the chat. Twin Dilemma is absolutely garbage and the worst writing the Doctor has ever had. Don't let that story make you judge him. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind. So, interesting. You've got me curious now, though. How am I liking Prison Break? I really like Prison Break. Yeah. They literally said the new guy was the 15th. I've caught up to where everyone was telling me that Tennant is the 14th Doctor, and I just still don't believe it. So yeah. That's why you've given up on using numbers with a Timeless Child, the War Doctor, and the degeneration of Tennant. Yeah, honestly, it's just give up. Just say the second Tennant Doctor. There you go. Ace should have gotten a better reintroduction in the modern era. I mean, I get that, fans, I get that fans of only modern Doctor Who wouldn't know who Ace was, but I don't know. I was fine with it. So, Twin Dilemma is Cullen's first story. Oh, okay. And it's awful. He acts like a total villain that strangles his companion. Didn't Davison want to do that to the guy that played Adric? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe his companion was a dick. I don't know. Would it be Perry? I don't know. I'm really trying to get through this. Sadly, this is the last time we'll probably see Ian Chesterton. Chatterton. No, it's Chesterton. Yeah, I mean, it probably will be the last time, but the fact that we got to see him on screen at all, I'm going to say, is amazing. So, yeah. Yeah, if you want to get really technical, Jodie is the 14th Doctor. That's a good point. Maybe even the 15th Doctor, if you subscribe to the theory that the Fugitive Doctor goes between 2 and 3. So, I don't know. Do you think the fact that Tom Baker was the classic Doctor set high expectations for you, and therefore those expectations are not being met has soured him? I don't think, fully, but, I mean, it is sort of a thing, you see, was it the Honest trailer for classic Doctor Who, and it's, it's like, oh, here's the Doctor that everybody thinks that classic Doctor Who is, And so I kind of hear that, and then I watch and it's like, oh, he's fine. He's good. He's not bad at all, but yeah, he's fine, So yeah, maybe a little bit, but honestly, I don't know. With some of the stuff I've gone through with classic Doctor Who, I've just sort of learned to just sort of take it as it is, and yeah, as of right now, I just feel that I like the third Doctor more. So I don't think it's really soured him, but it's just sort of well, that's interesting that this one's the favorite. But yeah, I think it's what a lot of people are saying, that that because he was the longest running Doctor, that and my brain has lost words. That just sort of put that in my head, maybe. So yeah, Jodie is 16 if you count the Meta-Crisis and Fugitive Doctor. I don't know how many people count the Meta-Crisis Doctor, but I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody out there. So, 4 is the quirkiest of the classics. That's why you love him. And hey, more power to you. If you think that if the fourth Doctor is your favorite, more power to you. It's just that so far I prefer the third. The third Doctor is my favorite so far. So, I wonder if Ian will mention the time he killed an Aztec man at the companion support. Oh my god. The stories he could tell where everyone would just sort of look and be like, well, that's not the stories we get anymore, That's not the stories we got. Thoughts on the new logo and the Disney Plus deal. The new logo, I think that from what I can tell, that seems to just be for the 60th. I imagine they'll have a brand new logo for Ncuti Gatwa's era, but for the 60th, that's fine. It's totally fine. The Disney Plus deal, I don't think Disney's going to have any say in Doctor Who. I'm pretty sure it's just a distribution thing, so I'm sure it'll be fine. You think the Aztecs is the quintessential historical, same for the Romans. The Aztecs was pretty good. It was pretty good, so going to be interesting in 2 years of Alex and Dad ranking every classic Who Doctor. Oh, is that only 2 years from now? Holy crap. I guess you're right. That's crazy, man. If Jodie does Big Finish, she'll do a River Song audio and one with Missy. Oh, that'd be crazy. Man, I want to believe that the only reason they didn't have River Song with the 13th Doctor on screen is it would have gotten a little too steamy for the BBC, you know? Because you put the two of them together, no, it ain't happening. River was already too steamy with the guys, you know? Okay. I'm really trying to catch up, but this is so not working because I'm about to get to the end, but it's going to bump me back up again. So if I have missed your comments, I'm sorry. We are an hour in, so Tennant is 14. If you end up being wrong, Alex, then you must expose the chest hair and dance with the master with muted Rasputin music live. No. I would like to keep my YouTube channel, and I'm sure there's somewhere about chest hair in there that will violate some rule. Oh, okay, hello. The reason we're upset about the Disney deal is because they took away the rights to Doctor Who from ABC in Australia. Doctor Who was free on ABC, and now I'm forced to get Disney Plus. Dude, okay, so then just welcome to my world. Welcome to my world, because I've had to buy episodes on Amazon for the past couple years because everything just... it doesn't work. There's nowhere for me to watch it either in America without either, I guess, subscribing to a BBC thing or I've had to try to use a VPN on the BBC's website. But let me just tell you, the MHA crew will relate to this with how I've been watching on the Funimation website. But the BBC's website, at the very least with a VPN, sucks anus, and I hated it. So I just went to buying the episodes on Amazon. So I'm happy they're going to be on Disney Plus because that's a good streaming service. So I don't know. You don't think Jack is ever coming back? I don't think anytime soon. I know there's this whole thing with Jack, although I don't think it's as terrible as it could be, you know? Like, I don't think the whole thing with Jack, you know, I don't want to say, like, it's being overblown, but it's not like I don't think it's, like, the worst thing it could be. The whole, now, Mickey, bitch ain't ever coming back, but, yeah. Every episode of Doctor Who is on Daily Motion. Yeah, but that means using Daily Motion. Have you ever tried using Daily Motion? That also sucks anus, but it's in its own Daily Motion kind of way. So, I used to upload reaction highlights to Daily Motion, but it sucked. So, I will double down in the season 6B theory that the fugitive Doctor takes place between 2 and 3. Yeah, that's kind of where I am, so. It's laggy? Uh-oh. Hold on, somebody just said it was laggy. Is the stream laggy? If it's lagging for you, try refreshing the page and see, because right now on YouTube it says I have a most excellent connection, so. So yeah. Anyway. K9 and Omega are owned by the writer who created them. That's why Omega is not coming back. Ah, no! No, we gotta bring back Omega. It is so great. Chibnall clearly wrote her to be pre-Hartnell. Yes, but it was never confirmed, so. Oh, Daily Motion is laggy. Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, okay, yes. Yeah, Daily Motion has a lot of problems, so. Anyway. Wait, what? What do you mean I've not won a prize and should contact you on Telegram? Oh, have people been getting those? I've been meaning to like keep an eye out for any spam comments, but yeah, so yeah, because I think I'm caught up to Jesus. I'm caught up to like that was like 30 minutes ago. Oh well. Bring back Omega. She's the best bit of the Bad Batch. Ah, that's clever. Good job. Okay. I still want to believe that if the fugitive doctor is Pre Hartnell, the only reason she's the doctor and has the police box TARDIS is because she needed a disguise and became a future Time Lord. So, but I still want to believe that she's not. So, yeah, I know. I know every YouTuber is getting the spam comments, but hopefully you guys are smart enough not to reply or go to any of those. So. But I haven't seen any in my comments, so. Let's see here. Alright, let's see where I am. Oh well. Okay. I've completely lost where my place was, so. Yeah, I've completely lost where I am in time and space, so. The original plan was a fade to dark while Jodie was regenerating. How wild you feel about a close-ended regeneration, possibly another hiatus. So they just wouldn't show what happened? That would be interesting, but I assume what you also mean is if they just faded and then the show just stopped, you know? I hope it doesn't. But we'll have to see. Anyway, you can tell the original regeneration would have been open-ended. Chibnall didn't originally know how RTD was returning, and that Tennant bit was filmed much later. Yeah, that's true. Because, I mean, only in the past few months, was it May, when we found out about Shutigatwa? So, yeah. That would have been... that would have been interesting if it just sort of faded, but luckily they figured something out, so, although I don't know. Alex is like Feast of Stephen, lost and unrecoverable. Yeah, I really just lost my point in space and time. You know what Doctor Who needs? Intro interruptions like an episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh yeah, when like whenever Dio uses the world or bites the dust or whatever is going to happen at the end of part 5. I don't know, I'm not there yet, but I'm sure there'll be something with King Crimson. So does your dad know Jodie degenerates into Tennant, or you try to keep it a secret until he eventually catches up? I'm sure he's aware, but I don't really tell him the details, but I'm sure he is aware that happened. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah. Omega would be a great villain for the 60th. Yes, he'd just be a great villain in general. I'd love for Omega to come back, you know. So is Code Geass going to be a React series, or is it on Patreon? I have been watching Code Geass in my own time. I have not made any content about it because basically I kept putting Code Geass on polls to react to, and it never got votes. Basically, like maybe 1 or 2, but pretty much never. But then pretty much I've just been watching it with my brother. So he really wanted me to watch Code Geass, and y'all have missed out because I would have had the craziest reactions to Code Geass because that show is nuts, you know? Like there was one point where I was talking about Euphemia, and I was like, oh, you know, I like Euphemia. She's nice. She's, you know, the nice one. And I made a joke apparently that was like, well, Daenerys was, you know, the nice one too, and then suddenly she just, you know, tried to kill everybody. And that was really, really funny for me to say, apparently. So you guys definitely missed out on Code Geass reactions. Oh, hello. Will reactions to Andor come back? Yes, that is the first time I've ever put a series on hold. They are going to come back at some point in November. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 3 episodes at a time. So the next video for Andor will be episodes 7, 8, and 9. And then a couple weeks later, I'll do a video on 10, 11, and 12. So it'll just be the next 2 arcs will just get their own videos. So yeah, I just had to take a break from Andor because I just didn't have the time, especially with Power of the Doctor and House of the Dragon. I just did not have the time for that. So yeah. Adric threw up in a bush in Davison's first episode. He was visibly drunk at the end scene. Okay, interesting. RTD knows what he's doing and I trust him. Yes, that is the one thing where it's like, you know, I'm sure all of the David Tennant specials are going to be excellent. I have no doubt about that. It's just, you know, on principle, this, you know, on paper, this sounds like a bad idea, but it's the right people to do this at the very least, you know? Like, if Chris Chibnall had brought back David Tennant and was doing an episode with David Tennant, I don't think he could have pulled that off. Moffat, maybe, because he at least has brought David Tennant back before for the 50th, but RTD, I'm like, okay, well, these will at least be good episodes, even if I don't like it on principle, you know? Ian is the only companion actor to have lived through 3 monarchies. Well, holy balls. I guess you're right. Wow. Isn't that interesting? I've got about 1.5 years left of Classic Who. What? Man, those eras must be getting real short after 4 then, because that is crazy to think about. That only 1.5 years? Oh no. Crap, what's that going to do with his life? Well, I mean, I guess after that we're just going to move on to the 9th Doctor, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get rid of Dad for Doctor Who reactions. He enjoys them too much, you know? So we'll probably just go through the modern era, you know? Either we'll catch up with the modern era with Dad, or he'll die on camera and I'll monetize it, basically. So yeah. RTD isn't perfect. Remember Space Jesus? No. Was that an episode? Wait, what episode was that? I don't remember. Oh, it was 4 monarchs. George VI, Edward VIII, Elizabeth II, and Charles III. Wow, that's crazy. What episode was Space Jesus? I mean, the concrete slab was pretty bad, but what episode was Space Jesus? I can't remember. The last 4 seasons of Classic Who are only 14 episodes long. Okay. Interesting. Yay, modern reactions with Dad. I mean, honestly, why not? And especially, too, because he's said multiple times he wants to watch Christopher Eccleston's first episode, and I just haven't had the time, so we might as well just go along into the next one, so... Oh god, that's 5 monarchs. George V, Edward VIII, George VI, Elizabeth II, and Charles III. Jeez, that's so many, and there's so many numbers. Space Jesus was the mutant. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The mutants. The mutants. Oh. Oh, when he... Oh, okay. I guess. I don't know. I guess it is. I guess that was a sort of... I don't know. Due to everybody saying doctor. I mean, they kind of said that, though, with the whole... There's power in a word. They set that up in the Shakespeare Code. I guess. I don't know. It was weird Time Lord stuff. I didn't really put too much thought into it, but I guess, yeah. It wasn't amazing, so yeah. When Dad catches up in the same place that you're caught up, will that signify the end of solo Doctor Who reactions? I don't know. It's gonna be a little while. It's gonna be a little while before we get to that point, so I have time to think about it. But I don't know. I might not. Just sort of depends. Yeah, I might just do my solo reaction because that's what we do, and then do another one with Dad. I don't know. I'll have to see. Let me see. Do I like Jodie's doctor? Is that the first time we've really asked that? But yeah, I like Jodie. Jodie was good. Didn't always get the best writing, but I liked her. So, will Dad react to Torchwood and SJA? I don't know. We'll have to think about that when we get there. Maybe because because they do sort of tie into that, but at the same time, I don't know. That's a lot to do. I know it's a lot to do because it was a lot to do when I did it, But we'll have to see. Space Jesus wasn't Tennant. That was Tennant becoming a Jedi. More powerful than you could possibly imagine. Oh, there you go. Have Dad watch Torchwood. Scar him for life. I mean, at that point, Dad'll be 73, maybe 74 years old, so I mean, I don't know. Look, he's watched some bad stuff in his life. Dude, you want to see... Here's another reaction you guys definitely missed out on. Oh, hello. 1 second. Boop. There we go. One reaction you guys definitely missed out on was his reaction to the FX BBC Christmas Carol with Guy Pearce. Oh my god, he was seething with anger. It was so funny. I wish we had filmed that, because I guarantee you the whole reaction would have been him seething with anger, and I would have been sitting there laughing, because that's exactly what it was. Yeah. We did watch Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, so we can handle a lot of bad stuff. But yeah. But the FX Christmas Carol, that was funny because... that was also funny because I was tweeting about that while it was airing in the US, and apparently it hadn't aired yet in the UK. So I was tweeting out how bad it was, and people in the UK were like, wait, what? What's happening? No, we haven't, like, they played the whole, like, mini-series on Christmas Eve, but they played it one episode at a time leading up to that in America. So, yeah. Oh, you guys... Oh. It would have been so funny. I want to say the funniest moment of that. Well, there were many funny moments, but one of the funniest moments of the FX Christmas Carol with Guy Pearce is when Scrooge, as a child, is left at the boarding school. And by that point, I was just sort of in there of like, okay, what terrible thing is going to happen? And in my head, I was like, I don't know, what terrible thing could happen? Scrooge got molested as a kid, and then that started happening, and I just burst out laughing like, oh my god, you cannot be serious. That is so hilariously bad, you know? The Santa Claus Conquers the Martians reaction, I think it's actually blocked in the UK if you're trying to look for it. I do have a version of it on Internet Archive, actually, so I will go ahead and drop a link to that in, I guess, here in chat. So I have to find it first. It's going to take me a second. So yeah. Not recently, but within the past year or so, I've actually been uploading pretty much all of my videos to Internet Archive as a backup. So, but let me find it. That's highlight movie reactions. Hold on, I have to find it in here. That's full length. Here we go. And I might also leave. You also have a VPN. So yeah, if you have a VPN, you can also do that. Yeah, good luck watching the Torchwood sex scenes with my dad. Yeah, because there's something I want to do is watch Torchwood sex scenes with my 70 plus dad. So all right, copy link address, and okay, I've just kind of given up on previous stuff, so I'm just looking at the chat as it comes to me. So yeah, so I'm just going to do Santa Claus Conquers the Martians backup link. There you go. That's for you folks. And I will also leave that in the pinned comment too. I think I might have a document. That has all of those, all the backups of that, but I'm not sure. Or like missing episodes and stuff. I don't know. I'd have to look for it. So, yeah. But there you go. If anybody wanted that. So, if you can't access that one. So yeah. Where was I? Do you think that RTD should have a Christmas special about Krampus? Apparently, though, there's a 13th Doctor comic about it. Well, I would like him to do Christmas specials again, because I really do miss those. But about Krampus, I mean, you could. But if there's already a 13th Doctor comic, you don't need to do that. But hopefully he starts doing that stuff. So yeah. How come your dad has not seen the Jodie Doctor reactions with you? What do you mean? We did do a modern reaction for Jodie. It was Demons of the Punjab. That's the only episode we've done, but yeah. So yeah. People bemoan Chibnall's writing in this era, but nothing will be worse than some of the tripe he turned out in season 1 of Torchwood. Aliens fucking you to death. Really? That was a pretty weird episode. Fun as hell, but not really that great. Have I seen the trailer for the Christmas Story sequel? I have, and that I was a bit skeptical at first, but honestly, it just kind of looks like a fun time. It looks like over Halloween, I watched Hocus Pocus 2, and that was fun. It wasn't great, but it was fun seeing those actors back again. So, yeah. So, I'm sure it'll be fine. Weird Al supports people torrenting his movies or using a VPN. So, yeah, see? I'm like Weird Al. It's okay if you use AdBlock or VPNs or what have you. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, well, see, if you guys are gonna pop out now, that's totally fine. So, thank you for watching. We'll probably go at least a few more minutes. So, yeah. But let's see here. With RTD, hopefully we'll get the Daleks as a legitimate threat again. Yeah, I could see that. The Daleks have been sort of hit and miss since then. Here's a question that should have an obvious answer. Do you think Heaven Sent is amazing? Well, actually, no, yeah. Heaven Sent is great, definitely. Um, you have a crush on Jodie, but you're upset she has left Doctor Who now. Hey, look, I get that. She is a beautiful woman. You know, she is absolutely amazing. Didn't always get the best writing, but I like her. And honestly, just as an actor, she was great. But yeah, she is absolutely adorable. So, during the whole discourse about Tennant being the Doctor again, did you ever think about what the curator said? You might find yourself revisiting a few old favorites. Yes, I didn't really see that as anything else. It's saying no data. Oh, no, okay. Jeez, it said no data and then excellent connection, but we're apparently good. So yeah, the whole thing of you might find yourself revisiting a few old favorites. I just saw that as here's how we get Tom Baker back in this episode. Like whatever. It didn't mean anything, but now it does. I think your dad would like Children of Earth, though, for good John. Yeah, Children of Earth is the one where it's like, that was friggin' great. So, yeah. Blame Chibnall. He wrote the sex gas episode of Torchwood. Oh, yeah. You can blame him for that, definitely. Is Benny the true hero of this era? Well, yeah, the poor guy died a hero. He'll never be recognized for who he truly is. There's a fourth Doctor story about the Doctor going into a universe without Daleks, and the aliens that are big are the Quarks, the Crotons, and the Ogrons. Oh, God. There better not be an episode, because that's just ridiculous. Chibnall also gave us the last 2 episodes of Torchwood Season 2, which is gold. Well, there you go. It's one of those things where it's like, I never disliked Chibnall as a writer. It's just sort of an odd choice to make him the showrunner, but it was never bad, Like, he's got some good, he's got some bad. Jodie recently had a baby. Mazel tov. Well, that's great. Have you or are you reacting to Werewolf by Night? I have not. I didn't make time to watch it during Halloween. Maybe next Halloween, but I have not been reacting to any of the Marvel stuff. So, and judging by how my Star Wars reactions have gone, I don't think anybody would have cared about me watching Marvel stuff. So, this is random, but I would love to see a Cowboy Bebop crossover with Doctor Who. Yeah, that probably makes the most sense, Now, I don't know about, if you got, like, the live-action cast, although I don't know. But I haven't seen the live-action. But, honestly, the live-action cast, they don't look too bad. But, yeah, that might be interesting. Or if you had an animated episode with Spike and Faye and Jet and the Doctor, that'd be interesting. She's a beautiful woman, probably. It's a reference to a 4th Doctor episode you haven't seen. Interesting. Jodie was pregnant during her final episode. Well, my God. That's amazing. She did all that shit. Good for her. Any thoughts on checking out Big Finish's Jago and Lightfoot stuff? It's very tempting. But I've wanted to get into a bunch of Big Finish stuff, but I just haven't found the time. So maybe. I hope I will someday. So, what has been your favorite Jodie episode? Favorite Jodie episode might be Demons of the Punjab. I think that one is just so good and a really good example of how to do a historical in the modern era, So probably that one, which is why I had Dad react to it. So yeah. Did I ever react to the 2 David Tennant animated episodes? Good God, I did. I reacted to The Infinite Quest during Series 3, and that was okay. But I also, at the end of, during the Tennant specials, just before the end, I reacted to Dreamland, which, by God, that was rough to get through. But yeah, I've reacted to those, so yeah. Oh gosh. Now you guys are starting to get chatty again. Yeah, crap is hard to forget. Yeah. We watched the sex gas episode at my grandparents'. It broke my grandpa's brain and made my grand storm out in disgust. Oh, goodness, yeah. Do I have a favorite villain or alien of the modern Who? I'm sure I've said this before, but now I can't remember. But probably Weeping Angels. I really like them. So, yeah. There was the Gunfighters for the first. Oh, I love the Gunfighters though. It was stupid. It's not really a great episode, but it was stupid and fun. Live action Bebop cast was actually great. It's just a shame the writing wasn't very good. That's what I hear. So, there's a Jago and Lightfoot story where they meet the Master. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Hope the baby is all right after the regeneration. Is Tennant now pregnant with the baby? Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what he needs to regenerate again I'm just gonna stop with that train of thought. I can just imagine the Doctor being like, "What the hell do I do with Ed?" Yeah, I mean that's basically just Ed in a nutshell. Nobody knows what to do with Ed, you know. Any gripes or issues that you had with this era of Doctor Who? I mean, I would say sort of maybe like pacing in season 11, but that kind of got fixed in season 12. I will say season 13 and a lot of stuff in the specials was a lot of like, you know, just go, 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 go. And it was hard for me to like stop and breathe and think before another thing happened. But it was not really a problem in Series 11 or Series 12, so yeah, stuff like that. Favorite episode from Jodie's era was Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. Not her best, but it's your favorite. Fair enough. Jodie is a good actor and was working so hard as the first female Doctor, but she didn't give me a great impression as the Doctor. I think that's down to writing. I think she was giving it her all, but it was the writing that kind of let her down, you know? Yeah. Dreamland was a Pixar movie, but it was only in alpha, basically. So, You watch Flesh and Stone with your mother where Amy tries to seduce the Doctor. Yeah, this is rough. That's why, like, I can never watch, like, Game of Thrones. Well, there's a bunch of reasons why I can't watch Game of Thrones with my parents, but all of the sex and nudity in Game of Thrones, I'm not going to watch that with my mom, you know? But also the fact that the end of Game of Thrones sucks. I don't want to put them through that, you know? Yeah, there's no purpose to the sex gas episode, so you can just skip it at least. Everyone used to hate the Gunfighters until it came out on VHS. Okay, it didn't come out on VHS until 2002. So till then, people just had to listen to the people who watched it in 1966. Honestly, the Gunfighters, it's not a great story, but it's fun, you know? We should have a master who's more like Roger Delgado instead of just being the Joker. I mean, I feel like Sacha Dhawan was close on that, you know? I feel like he kind of got close, and honestly, Missy kind of got close to Delgado. John Sim didn't, but he's his own sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I get you. Delgado is honestly my favorite of the Masters, so yeah. But see, I see him more, instead of being more like the Joker, now I see him more as the Reverse Flash, where he's just friggin' petty. It's just, it was me, Doctor. I became Rasputin and put my face on classic images. Why? Because it fucks with you, you know? I imagine Chibnall had a lot of ideas he wanted to do before they lowered the episode count due to COVID. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my parents yelled at me when I yelled seeing Jodie regen. Oh, yeah. I'm sure there were people. Yeah. The Gunfighters would have made a great Cowboy Bebop episode. You just have to add in Andy. Oh God, yeah, that'd be funny. A more calmer master would be fun. Yeah, I mean, but that's honestly what I see in Missy, you know? Like, that's what Missy may be my favorite version of the master. The only thing is she's after season 8, she's not really the master. She's always like with the 10th Doctor, and that's interesting, but I want a lot of her as, you know, the villain doing crazy stuff, you know? I watched most of Game of Thrones with my brother when he was arguably too young. We didn't care, and eventually we just gave up trying to hide it from our parents. Yeah. I mean, it's not every episode. But then some episodes, you know, you'd see Jon Snow's bare ass right in your face, and look, don't get me wrong, it's lovely, but, you know, that's for you. You gotta keep that, you know. You don't want anyone around when you're looking at his, you know, his little booty. You know? I've said too much. Anyway. So did he replace Rasputin, or was he always Rasputin? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe both. Maybe. Opinion on Eric Roberts as the Master. Apparently he's actually really good in Big Finish. I thought he was a lot of fun in that movie. And I'm happy that he comes back, you know? I'm happy that he comes back in Big Finish. But yeah, he was fun. I'd have to rewatch it because it's been so long since I watched that movie. But yeah, he's probably really good. I don't know how much he is close to Delgado, but pretty good. The Power of the Doctor was the first time the Master hypnotized someone in New Who. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that was the thing, is immediately when it's like, oh, when he's Rasputin, it's like, oh yeah, of course he can play that part because he can hypnotize. He always dress for the occasion. When am I gonna watch Westworld? I don't know, maybe never. It's never won a poll, so I'm kind of getting the sense that nobody wants me to watch Westworld, so I just sort of gave up on it. Let's see, we're about in an hour 45, so we should probably start winding down here. So yeah. Season 4 of Westworld will be the last. Well, alright. I don't know, it's just nobody seems to care enough for me to watch it, you know? Interesting. So he has a bit of a companion. That's interesting. Do you think they'll continue to do Timeless Child again in Doctor Who, or leave it? I wouldn't be surprised if they just sort of left it, you know? But they could. They could bring it back a bit. So. We're losing Segan Akinola. Is that how you say it? For composer. Any thoughts on his time? The music never really stood out with him, I will say. Now, maybe it's because I haven't rewatched many of the episodes, but it really hasn't stuck out to me, so I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. It's never bad, but yeah. 10 references him being a hypnotist in season 3. That's true. He lived for 8 years as Rasputin. Alright. And again, I feel like he just did that just to do it. He was just screwing with people, you know? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like the Doctor had Yaz take a gun, and then that didn't really go anywhere. There are a couple things in that episode that don't really go anywhere, but yeah. You'd love to see the meddling monk in New Who. Yes! I would love to bring the monk back. That'd be great, you know? Yeah, the Doctor telling Yaz to get a gun was kind of weird. It just didn't go anywhere, you know? Like, I guess I get it, but Meh. Did I enjoy Power of the Doctor? Yes. Overall, I enjoyed it. It's not the greatest episode, but it was fine. Anyway, folks, why don't we go ahead and wind this down? If you've got any final questions, then go ahead and ask them. We'll wrap up here in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So if you got any last minute questions, go ahead and leave them, and I'll power through them real quick. The master appearing in paintings reminds me of River graffitiing a cliff wall for attention. Yeah. The monk is great in Big Finish. He's revealed is great. Oh, I've had a lot of jobs, but the last time I met a doctor, I was a monk. Roll credits. That's funny. Yeah. McGann still looks the same after 10 years. Yeah, Missy stopping the planes. That's a good point. Do you think Murray Gold will come back? I think that'd be a little much if you bring the whole thing back. I'd be fine if they brought in a new person, So yeah. I'd love to see a historical Doctor Who episode about Salvador Dali, as I'm a fan of his art. Yeah, that's good. Yesterday I was watching Doctor Who Series 12. Good for you. Really looking forward to Monday's Classic Who story. What do we've got on Monday? Tomorrow we've got The Invisible Enemy. That was an interesting one because that one was really funny because we watched it and we thought, this is fine. It's enjoyable enough. Some interesting ideas. Pacing is kind of off, but then we heard that people think The Invisible Enemy is garbage, and we were like, oh, well, all right then. It's just kind of interesting. So yeah. McGann literally hasn't aged that much since the 90s. Honestly, no. Like I saw it a bit more with his appearance in The Power of the Doctor, but honestly, it's not that much. It looks like he's aged a bit, Honestly, if anything, maybe like Christopher Eccleston has aged more. That's the other thing. If Jodie Whittaker had regenerated into Christopher... I know this will never happen, but if she had regenerated into Christopher Eccleston, I would have been so down for that, So, yeah. You love The Invisible Enemy. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if people like it, that's totally fine. It's just some stuff that I've heard about The Invisible Enemy. I liked it. It was fine. It's not amazing or anything, but I liked it enough. So, I'd like to see an episode of Who with minimal dialogue, like Angel Egg of Buffy's Hush. Okay, I haven't seen Buffy, so I'm not sure I know the reference, but hey, I get that. Yeah, Image of the Fendal on Patreon, which was good. A bit slow, but it was really good overall. A good story at the very least. Yeah, they're bringing back RTD, Phil Collinson, and Julie Gardner. Well, yeah, I guess you can bring back the whole crew. Again, the good news is that we're at least getting Ncuti Gatwa, It's not just everybody back, but yeah. Liked Invisible Enemy the other week when I saw it. I watched Image of the Fendal, ready for Monday, and I could barely pay attention. Interesting. I mean, yeah, it's... Image of the Fendal is slow, but it was an interesting story, so... Isn't Invisible Enemy the first appearance of a certain doggy? Yes, it is. A dog who clearly they didn't know what to do with, so they wrote him out of the next episode. So, Paul McGann is nearly the same age as Capaldi. Wow. Yeah, he does look a bit younger. I mean, it's the fact that he has color in his hair. It's the same thing I tell Dad. Dad's always like, oh, I want my hair to just go completely white. And I'm like, no! Then you'll actually look like you're 70. The fact that he has color in his hair means he doesn't look... The man's 70 years old. He doesn't look 70, I don't know what his deal is. K9 and Ein spinoff when? Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, if you had K9 and Ed and Ein, oh, that'd be crazy. What do you hope they'll do with the 15th Doctor? my hope is that they'll call him the 14th Doctor. Do you know in Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 10, that Jadoon take the Doctor to space jail and we never see the Jadoon again? I wonder why is that. Just, I don't know. I'm not sure. So yeah, K9 was another one of those companions who was a one-off. They brought back, but the scripts weren't written for him. Yeah. After Image of the Fendel, there's a change in script editor and tone. Yes, I have been told about that, and I'm curious about it. Interesting. Yeah. Prefer calling him 15th because 15th is a better number. Well, okay then. I don't know what your bias is against the number 14, but all right, man, that's fine. Alex, you will never let this go. Yeah. I will actually miss the big shot folks of Cowboy Bebop, you know. Yeah, they took the Doctor to prison. That happened, and then it ended. So, I don't know. I was kind of hoping that there would be this big prison break episode of Doctor Who, but nope. Yeah, I still, until those 3 episodes come out, I don't believe that David Tennant is actually the 15th, or is actually the 14th Doctor. I just don't believe it. So, I think that's RTD messing with us on Twitter, on the dumpster fire known as Twitter, and that with any luck we'll get an actual regeneration from Jodie to Shudigatwa. So yeah. Is Doctor Who one of your favorite shows, like in your top 10? I suppose I haven't really thought about it in a while. If you want to know my favorite TV show of all time, Ed, Edd n Eddy. Absolutely my favorite. Sometimes I'll go back and watch clips on YouTube. It still cracks me up. So fucking funny, you know? Only Doctor Who fans argue over numbers. Yeah. Well, sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh fans do that. If you ever play numbers in Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, number 9, Dyson Sphere, or 39, Utopia. Anyway. It's not on Twitter. It's the official Doctor Who page. Well, the official Doctor Who page, I am going to say, is lying until the episodes prove me wrong. So, Tennant Round 2 will still have more episodes than McGann. That does kind of suck. I hope I have hope of something. I don't know. If Jodie had regenerated into Paul or Eccleston, you would have been okay with it. Yes. And I know Christopher Eccleston will never do it, but if that had happened, I would have been so down for that. I want more of him. And I'm so glad he's doing Big Finish now. But yeah. You were heartbroken when you learned Jawbreakers aren't that huge. Yeah, I remember I tried a Jawbreaker once. It was maybe this big, maybe even bigger. And I had it and I was like, this isn't, really huge. What the hell, Will Tennant tell us not to forget to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel? I don't know. Maybe. Join the dark side and accept him as 15. Never! You hope that his last words are, I want to go. He's like, I'm fucking done. Yeah, that's it. It's not as emotional as you're probably thinking. It's going to be like, God, please, I was wrong. I shouldn't have come back. Huh! Shudigatwa. There you go. The BBC denied missing episodes were found back in 2013. They lie all the time. Yeah. A man of culture as a lover of the Ed Boys. Hello, Ed Boys. Willy Wonka gives you Doctor Who vibes, I guess. Yeah. What if we had an alternate timeline where Gene Wilder was the 4th or 5th? Oh, that would be fascinating. I would love that. I want him to play it. I would want him to have played it exactly as he does exactly as he does Willy Wonka. No, stop, cease, desist, and then just go absolutely ballistic on people. You lose. Good day, sir. All right. Well, folks, it's been about 2 hours, so I think we're gonna call it here. Oh, they wanted Pertwee to play Willy Wonka? Yeah, maybe. I can see that. Have you seen the Rolf as Goku videos? Yeah, I have. Because it's the same... Well, it's the same voice as the Ocean dub of Goku, I think? Yeah. Last words will be, don't worry, I'll never truly leave. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, folks, we are going to wind down now. We are done. I don't know when I'm going to do another stream. Every time I do a stream, I want to do more stream. And I always want to do more streams, and I don't know, like, because I think about, like, recently the thing in my mind is I kind of want to stream or just play through Persona 5 or Persona 4, because I'm kind of curious about the Persona games, but I never finished Sonic Adventure, and I never finished Jedi Fallen Order, so I don't know if I start Persona 5, I'll probably never finish it. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that is basically it. This is the last Doctor Who stream for a good while, for about a year, unless we come back and do maybe we'll do like a halfway through Classic Who stream or something, and who knows, maybe I'll have Dad in on that. So yeah. But that is basically it, folks. Just stream 24/7. Oh, God, no. Man, people that do those, like, 70-hour streams where they sleep on stream, I don't know how I could do that. Man, I talk, I make sounds, I fart in my sleep. I wouldn't want to do that on stream. So, yeah. There are no streams because the only water in the forest is the river. Yeah, Tennant's last words. I have to go now. My planet needs me. All right. Well, folks, yeah, that is basically it. The Guinness record longest stream is probably one of those lo-fi ones that were started in 2018 and are still going today. So, but do those really count? I don't know. Anyway, but that is basically it. Signing off for real now. So, yeah. Jody should come on the live stream. That would be really interesting. But, I don't know. I feel like I'd be starstruck. I'd just be like, I don't know. Will the next stream be post 60th? Most likely. But anyway, that's it. I'm hovering over the end stream button, so I'm going now. See you guys later.